It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are really on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute the big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. On this episode, Dr. Jaquan Outlaw, he has an idea, and it's how you really can make AI simple and use it in your business as an entrepreneur. I know it's not a new idea, but we're going to find out why people are struggling and what you can do to make yours better. So let me say hello to the one and only Dr. Jaquan Outlaw. How are you, my man?
I'm good, Shay. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Let me just address the elephant in the room, and then we'll get started. We'll find out how famous you are and all the wonderful things you're doing with all the letters behind your name. But my question initially is, for the entrepreneurs watching now, they might be like Shay Brown, they're curious. Why are so many small businesses struggling today to really use the power of AI to really help them serve the customers they were able to serve? So the question is, why is everybody so confused about AI, man? I know it's not a fair question, but I'm curious.
Well, just to start, it's just a hype word, right? So everyone's confused because it's all about hype. Everyone wants to be with the latest trends and things like that. So that's why they're confused. They have no idea how to use it, how to leverage it specifically for their business right now. Not just how everyone else is doing it, but they have to ask themselves, how can I use it personally? And how can I use it most importantly as an entrepreneur to grow my business?
So what do you say to the person out there saying, okay, I'm just overwhelmed? I mean, what is the first step? Don't worry, he's gonna get to who he is. But what's the first step you
Right,
recommend to the person that's saying, I'm a bit overwhelmed? Okay, I'm not too overwhelmed. I know how to type and do a search
right,
in Chat GPT. But if you
right,
was me starting off as an entrepreneur, what's maybe step
right.
one, step two, step three? You would say, here's some things to familiarize yourself.
Understood. Well, step one is to breathe because it can be overwhelming between the ads on TV, on your phones, on your radios, everywhere. So it can be overwhelming. So first step is to just breathe and take it easy. The second step is to identify your problem, right? So it's not just about using AI or, hey, let me use what everyone's using. You have to say, what problem is it solving for me? Because that's the whole purpose of AI in the first place, is to make our lives a lot easier. And then the third step is to implement it into your real life. You mentioned Chat GPT or anything that's commonly used for your emails, or you may try to automate business workflows, anything like that. And then you start to actually implement. So those are the three steps.
And as you were speaking there, what is your view of the world? Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's unfair because I can ask whatever question I want. But what's your view of the world on for those entrepreneurs that says, okay, I like that.
Right,
What should I look for if I'm going to make an investment in a software? And investment may not be a lot of money. Maybe it's $97 a month, and this software is
okay.
supposed to do this. But it seems like every day, and maybe it's just me. I'm the only one, so put Shay Brown on a therapy couch right now. But it seems like I'm getting like 50
Here.
ads a day, literally
Right,
saying, try this AI software that does the exact same thing as the AI software I saw a minute ago. Does the exact same thing as the other
right.
AI software I saw. So to pair it for the audience, what do you look for when you're looking to make an investment in a software when all these things are new? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, where do I start?
Right. Well, before doing any type of investment, I always do like a risk analysis or some type of assessment, and that's why you would come to someone like myself and at Outlaw AI to help do that initial assessment and say, hey, what makes sense for me? Right? There's so many tools. There's so much different costs. I don't know what's what. I don't know what's worth the investment. Things like that. And someone like myself, who's a professional at it and been dealing with it for a while, with many organizations, will help narrow that mindset and say, hey, X amount of dollars can get you X amount of results. We know certain results aren't promised, but again, it can fit your business plan and your model that makes sense for you. So that's how it started. I always start off with an assessment. What's your return on investment for any entrepreneur?
I'm gonna get this backstory, ladies and gentlemen. I know I haven't forgotten. Some of you have already Googled him, and you're like, Shay, I've Googled him. I know who this guy is. I'm glad he's here. Some of you are like, somebody's in the kitchen cooking
Okay.
right now. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I like what I'm hearing. It's making sense, but I don't know the guy. We'll get to them in a moment.
Right.
But I want you to
Right.
mention what's maybe one, two, or three common mistakes you see that businesses are making. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying businesses because the benefit of having Dr. Jaquan Outlaw here today is that he's seen it from a corporate side. I'll say it like that in big organizations, but also how we as small businesses can apply it. So I'm going to first ask, what's maybe one or two common mistakes that he see folks making when using AI?
Understood. So some lessons to some mistakes, so to speak, can be one is AI tools do not solve problems alone, right? People think it's going to take over their job and things like this. The point of AI is to work together with you, right? And then the second mistake is strategy and responsibleness of using the tool to create a real impact. So you just don't want a tool to just be using it and putting out fake news and all this kind of stuff, right? You want to implement something that's going to have an impact to you personally and again to your business. And then another common mistake is just technology. They use it wrong, right? It should empower the people, not replace them. So you have to kind of put all that together, right? Like say, hey, how can myself and AI work together? And that's the hugest common mistake. People are just saying, hey, I need it. Some people say, I need it. I need to have it right now. And some people are like, hey, I have no idea. I'm just using it just because, right? And they're doing it all for the wrong reasons. And you have to kind of narrow your thought process, narrow your mindset down to, what problem is this solving for myself and for my business?
I like that. Well said, man. Well said. As we come down the home stretch, and thank you all for joining, by the way. We appreciate it. You're spending good time with us, and we're going to make this a good use of your time. They have a question, which I think is fair, like, which is, who is Dr. Jaquan Outlaw, right? What's the backstory? And how did he get into this whole AI movement that he's in now? So, you know the question. Who are you, man? What's the backstory? And then we'll come back and
Gotcha.
do some cool stuff.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Shay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Jaquan Outlaw and the founder of Outlaw AI. My work focuses on helping organizations understand how to use AI strategically and responsibly. And after years of working behind the scenes in data science and analytics, I launched Outlaw AI to help leaders navigate the rapid changes happening in AI automation. So, some key background points for myself. I do have a PhD in artificial intelligence. So, I am Dr. Outlaw, Dr. Jaquan Outlaw, or Dr. AI, whatever you want to call me. But I go by Dr. Outlaw or just Jaquan. Because I have the background. It just allows me to speak comfortably about the topic. I do have 10 plus years in overall analytics, data, and AI systems. And I just simply try to focus on helping organizations implement responsible and strategic AI. Working behind the scenes, started off with digital marketing, data analytics. It's huge. And now that kind of naturally flowed into what we call AI today. And I got into it because I was simply a digital marketer. I was always a person interested in technology, science. I worked with many organizations from NASA to government to some other private clients as well, and people that I've worked with. And me going from marketing to analytics, naturally AI just makes sense because I've always been dealing with this for years, anyways. Kind of foresaw this coming. I'm not a foreseer, but I just follow the news, right? And then, of course, I educate myself. Always something to learn that's new to kind of get where I'm at now. And now I have a PhD in AI. I'm here to talk about it, here to promote Outlaw AI and get everyone working smarter and making better decisions based on some insights and using a professional like myself.
I love it. And what really inspired you to start Outlaw AI? I mean, you could do a lot of things with your time and effort, but you
Right.
really are dedicated to helping small businesses
Right.
achieve the goals they're looking to. What was the inspiration? Was there an incident? Was there a moment in time? Or you just say, well, I'll just start here? Because you
Great
could
question.
be focused just on big
Great
businesses.
question. Great questions. So why AI, right? I think it was,
Yeah.
to be honest, it was in me because of me being a technologist and a futuristic type person. I'm the type that I see a new technology coming out. I want to try it. I want to beta test it. I want to learn it. I want to understand why it matters. What's the importance of it? So that was always my curiosity for things. And then career wise, I just naturally flowed into it again, going from marketing. It's all about data. Data is king, data science and artificial intelligence, of course, because all data is feeding these large language models and things like this. So I need to be able to understand it, not only speak about it, but from a technical perspective. And that's how I got into it, really, just pure curiosity and just motivation to stay on top of things, right? Because I don't like to be behind when it comes to information as much as I can.
Yeah, and you mentioned data science about 5 times already. And, for those folks
Right.
like myself, I went to HBCU, shout out to Morgan State University, and I went to DC Public Schools.
Hey.
So I'm just a layman. You keep saying data science, right? And I'm like, man, I wonder what is data science. And so it's just for me. I know all you out there, you already know what data science is. Y'all probably talk data
Right.
science language every day, but I don't. So if you had to break
Right.
down what data science is for us everyday common folks,
Right.
what is it, and why is that independent of AI? Why is data science
Understood.
important to help us be able to build and drive our business?
Gotcha. Well, data science in layman's terms is exactly how it sounds, right? It's the science of understanding your data. And what I mean by that is let's use the keyword insights, right? So you have data from your passwords to your data that's stored inside your emails and things like that, right? But it's all about what insights can you get from it, right? What can we explore? How can we explore the data, extract information out of there from large data sets that someone can sit down and read like a computer, and we can just output things that we're actually looking for. For example, you might have years and years of sales data as an entrepreneur. You might have sold at a mom and pop shop. You might have sold on your Square device. You might have sold online. But how do we put all that together, right? How do we say, let me see how my trajectory from selling here, selling there, put all that data together and have a visualization, for example, that would output what that would look like and how you've been doing over the years. But without data science, you wouldn't be able to compile so much of this knowledge, so much of this information. Think about Google or the large companies. They wouldn't exist if they didn't have proper data science people to be putting together, wrangling all that information and outputting it into something like Google search. You type something in behind the scenes, that's data science. And naturally that flows into artificial intelligence. And that's why we're here today of how we can combine all of those efforts and strategically move forward for your business and work smarter, not harder.
Well said, man. For the person that's overwhelmed and saying, wow, this
Yeah.
is a whole lot, Jay, um,
Let's come
what
back.
would Dr. Outlaw say is maybe a first or second baby step they can take to start, not just so much because they're not afraid of technology. So not like the person says, oh, I never want to be in technology. They're like, nah, I thought I was the one, right? In my day, I'm all into technology, but for some reason, I feel like I'm a few steps behind everyone else. What's the first thing
Right.
that Dr. Outlaw would say I should do? What's the second thing he said I should do? And what's the third thing so I can start the process of
Right.
familiarizing myself with AI, but more importantly, using it?
Understood. The first step is always to get information. And by information, I mean coming to folks like myself or Shay, who's in these fields, or Shay, who can connect you with someone like myself, who can get you the clear path of the way to move forward. So get information, whether you're Googling, how do I handle this? How do I work with AI? Have it work with me? You want to get with someone like myself to help educate you in AI adoption. And that's what we're here for, right? We're here to help slope based on where you're at. We like to meet you where you are in your journey of adopting AI, because it is the future. It's here now, and it's going to do nothing but get more and more viral or important and things like that. And I'm here to help consolidate all that and say, hey, for the next 10, 20, 15, 20, 30 years, how can it work for me and my family and my business comfortably, so we can again work smarter, not harder. And I'll continue to speak and guide organizations through this AI transformation. Outlaw AI, that's what we're here.
I love it. And you mentioned a few times about using AI responsibly. What does that mean?
Yes.
I mean, what's your view of the world of that?
Responsibly makes sense. So, for those who don't know, there aren't real guardrails or regulations on AI today, right? A lot of these big companies, ChatGPT, you might have seen Anthropic in the news or things like that, OpenAI. There's not a lot of guardrails. So, meaning a lot of people are putting out a lot of fake news, as you might have seen on your feed, or things that are just deep fakes and stuff like that. So, using it responsibly is saying that, hey, if we want AI to work with us and work together, we have to do it responsibly. And what I mean by that is just don't go online, participating in this deep fake or this fake news thing. Go ahead and download you a power automation app and come to a consultant like myself, and let's help make it work for you, right? And not in a any bad ways or anything like that. At the end of the day, you want your life to be easier. You want your business, your flow, your process, your automation to be a lot easier. And this is what you want to do it for. So we all have to be responsible, because guess what? Guardrails are coming. And if we're all doing the right things now, that'll make things a lot easier down the road and a lot easier to adopt to. So again, AI adoption is why I'm here.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love how you do that. And we have a segment here. I think this is a perfect segue called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you already know what we're about to do. In fact, you might wait to say those magic words, and you can say them if you want. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year
Okay.
to you. For
New
all the other folks who are joining us for the very first time, welcome. We're happy that you allow us to be in your home or in your ears right now, or maybe you're watching us on the big screen TV. But today is our January 1st is our personal mantra. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no
Right.
matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or how bright and sunny the past is back there, the past really no longer equals the future. And so my
Okay.
question for Dr. Outlaw on the other side is really two parts. And we'll find out maybe his life's been perfect. We don't know. But we'll find out. Number one, when you
We
hear
all
those
wait.
words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, was there ever a time in your journey that there was a setback, that things didn't go the way you wanted them to? And how were you able to bounce back from that?
Understood. So today is my January 1st, and what I would want to do is to step forward and lead the conversations for responsible AI, and keep that drive going, right? Keep the excitement going, but also allow us to understand and feel comfortable doing it. And some of the setbacks that I've had in the past is, people, if you might have heard before, will tell you no. And what I mean by that is, I remember using QR codes or talking about data AI stuff years ago, 5, 10 years ago, and people would say, "Hey, we're not ready for that," right? Or I remember having QR codes on my first resume business card, right? And people were like, "Why do I have to scan this thing?" Just embrace technology, right? So that would be, my thing. My setback was I used to just kind of really hear those no's and adapt to where things are. But if you're a futuristic thinker and there's something you want to work on or something you want to push forward and people just don't understand it, just keep going with it, right? Because maybe they don't understand it, but someone out there will. And you have to watch stuff like this so the message can get out and you can meet the right people, right? So that's my January 1st, and that's my lesson learned and how to get over it. Hopefully,
I
hopefully
love
that
it,
helps.
man. I love it, man.
We're
And
all
Dr.
different,
Outlaw, someone I had a chance to meet in person, by the way. I haven't met everybody. Sometimes I don't meet people, but we had a chance to
right?
meet in person, which is pretty cool. We have eye-to-eye contact, him and his wife, an amazing individual. One of the questions I
Fun
like to
time.
ask Dr. Outlaw, when we have some time, we have a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice maybe you've ever been given? I like to frame it for the audience because you've had a lot of mentors along
Okay,
this journey of life, unless you made it by yourself. You've read
good one.
lots of books, you've been to lots of
Sure.
seminars. But if you just step back and say, Shay, this is one of the best pieces of advice someone gave to me that I want to pass to someone else, what would it be
Right.
and why?
The biggest advice I've ever been given that stuck in my head as soon as you asked that question is this. The quote is, "To whom much is given, much is expected." That's the biggest advice. I feel like it came to my mind right away. And the reason for that is when you think of to whom much is given, much is expected, when you strive and you're just focused on doing great things will naturally happen. And as great things naturally happen to you, remember, we're all here together. We're all people working alongside things like AI, and you have to give back. And that's why we're educating, right? That's why this podcast exists right now. That's why this exists, right? We're trying to educate, trying to help people grow, trying to pass along positive information, positive, useful information that'll keep you striving. So remember, to whom much is given, much is expected. We all go through our ups and downs, but always, always count your blessings. You might have heard of that before. And when you have blessings, always bless someone in the way you know how to. And one of the biggest ways is education.
I love it. What does success look like for you these days? What does it feel like?
Success for me these days is connecting with people, right? Because we're in this AI age and people are feeling that disconnect since COVID and a lot of important things that happen in our world today and a lot more other things. My biggest success is really connecting with people and watching the success, watching people come to me and leave with information, leave what they plan, leave what they roadmap, and then catching up with them years later and be like, we don't have to say that I told you so. We're just gonna nod and we're gonna move on. And that's it.
I love it. What do you do for fun these days when you're not out saving the world and making a difference for others?
Travel. I'll always. Everyone needs a break every now and then. Take my work with me. Obviously, being an entrepreneur, folks know how that is. But you have to travel, you have to clear your head, you have to understand different people, different cultures, other than what's around you in a 50-mile, 100-mile radius sometimes, because it definitely brings you back to reality of, things you're blessed for and other things you can learn from other people and other cultures and things like that. So one of my biggest things, and also have fun, skydive or whatever it makes sense, go jet ski. I'm just excited about life. So if anyone got a great idea, we did Machu Picchu last year. And that was off a random conversation. So, so that's what it's about. Don't take life for granted. You better do your things
Yeah.
right now and enjoy it and have fun.
I love it, by the way. I love it. As we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days? And number two, how can folks connect with you? They're like, hey, I like what I'm hearing, Shay. What should I do? Where should I go? How do I stay in this conversation?
Understood. So the customers that I work with is big and small, right? So you can be a small business organization. We will not try to shun anyone away. Medium size. So everyone from, you can work in food service, you can work in government, you can work in finance, you can work in anything. We do not discriminate against any business because guess what? Data is existent in all businesses, and AI can be implemented into all types of organizations and business. And where you can connect with me if you want more information or to get with us and get your audit done on your business and see where the proper plan will work for you, you can connect with us at our website at www.outlawai.com. Again, that's outlawai.com. LinkedIn, you can find me as Dr. Jaquan Outlaw. Just search me, I'll pop up. Then, of course, there's Instagram. It's going to be at Outlaw AI _ official. So at Outlaw AI _ official, and that's OFFICIAL, two F's. Sometimes people forget that. But the biggest part, just go to outlawai.com, easy to remember. And I'll see you hopefully in our chat room, and we'll get that audit and get that plan ready for you to adopt AI responsibly, safe, and feel comfortable doing it. So
Sounds great. Let me say thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. We appreciate it and can't wait to connect with you again soon.
absolutely. Thank you, Shay. Appreciate your time.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers for tuning in because without you, well, we don't have a show. So I never get tired of reminding you every night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing really, really well, or you just going to that next level of success, congratulations, or you've been hit with the punch that maybe you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, my name is Shay Brown. I'm out. Thanks a lot, Dr. Outlaw. I appreciate you. We'll see you all
Thank you,
on
Shay.
the other side. Peace, everybody. Bye-bye.